Oh, what is happening here? I got a new used kiln and had it installed recently, so I'm on my third firing. I'm trying to figure out what is happening here. We'll unload a kiln today, and it is time for a Potter's Journal beer review. Okay, so the kiln is a Duncan hobby kiln. It's actually both the new and the old one were both Duncan hobby kilns. It was only $150, so although I need a kiln much bigger, I wasn't going to pass it up. And this is an Alai. This is from Cigar City Brewing. This is from Florida, and this year I am not traveling, so this is as close as I will get to Florida. Let's see what's in the kiln today. So the first firing, there were some good results, some sights and looks that you could say, wow, isn't that beautiful? However, there were a handful, this front row with the pinholes, and I wasn't having that much difficulty. The redware turned out fine. So now the thing is to figure out, even though it was a small percentage, what did go wrong? They really look like twins. But the old one, which I'm not sure is broken, I just couldn't get a kiln guy to look at it. My electrician friend didn't want to look to see if I think it may be just a switch. Yeah, I think it's just a switch, but this one could have another piece attached to the top. Whereas this Duncan, that looks pretty much the same, actually it looks better built. Look at that, the way the lid and the frame wraps around the top. Well, there's a reason for that. I've never seen this before. It is fiberboard on top and bottom, and then fiber blanket in the layers in between. It also can't take an extra piece on top. So what happened here? We will do the ah or the blah test. And I will say this one gets an ah. So with the last kiln, by trial and error, I just found out that every hour I would put it on low, medium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, this one, I put it up on 7 clicks, and it just, nothing happened. So I finally went and did another one real quick at the end, and I think I took the end of the firing too fast. So this is that's why I got the pinholes, I believe, in the first one. So on the second one, I did it the way I did the old firing, just did 7 notches and didn't go any higher. But I think that took way too long to fire the kiln. You can get pinholes, as I saw here, in too long a firing as well. I think I heard somewhere where somebody's kiln kept taking longer to fire, and he experienced that as well. And I think I'd recently told Broken Arrow how great the sea mist was, and it never runs. Well, I believe because of too long a firing, it ran and stuck to the shelf. So not only did I have to work on my shelf, I lost the bowl here, the pie plates. Now, on the bowl here, it really wasn't bad. In fact, some people will like what it did on the inside here, and all that running on the outside. I don't know if that's my thing, but yeah, somebody will like that. And it was fine. The chip and dip plates came out okay. The waviness, it's a tough thing to do to get the glaze just the right thickness. Sometimes you do lose it in there. It came out perfect here on the pie plate that we lost. And this too long a firing, I've never had any trouble with my greeny sea mist. Here it is on my dark clay body, medium I should say. There was one pinhole here somewhere, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it with that glaze. So sometimes it's glazes, and I think I got a hint from Janice the Potter that sometimes it can be the clay bodies too, which I may have noticed myself some. So do you actually know something about this? What is it that people admire about the lacing? And do you actually know anything about this? So I thought this kiln I just need to take up faster. So instead of 1 notch at a time, I took it 2, 4, and then I slowed it down to 5, 6, 7. I'm guessing that next time I should maybe take this higher, because I've never put the old one on high. So here's what came out of the next firing. So I've already got this out. As you can see, I like to give a kiln, a good filling and not waste any space. I'm semi-professional. I do need to pay for this. And this time round, once again, I almost lost the wavy lines in there, but they're just slightly visible. There's a lot of chip and dip plates. I think a lot of this stuff was made last January, February, so I'm just now getting around to firing it. And on the second shelf with my pie plates, this time not fired for too long a time. It didn't stick to the shelf, and I've been putting these tabs underneath it because I don't take good care of my shelves. I didn't do that on the last one where it dripped. And disappointment again with some pinholes here. Now I'm retesting the medium cork from Standard on a 266 black slip that's also a clay that they use on the hazelnut clay. So this was the only place where it pinholed in this firing, but I am going to make one more adjusting, and I wanted to get this video out for Dia de los Muertos or for Halloween. These were inspired by I guess decades ago, a visit to Chichen Itza and seeing the skulls on the pyramids there. These, I'm going to say, I was very pleased with. But what you're not seeing in the camera is the slip that I'm using is, pitted. So I think the slip is just not matching up. It's just some busted up clay that I've used that I don't think is the right temperature or firing. These I was real happy with, though, otherwise. They were fun to do. And let's see, maybe I can just lift this whole shelf out and set it over here. And like that. Next shelf down. More of the skulls here on the ceramic tile. So I wasn't feeling real well for a while. Sorry I missed you with a video last week. Alright, this one they do show off perfectly, and this is the sea mist. So I'm thinking this firing wasn't that bad, but it did take longer than the old firings in the old kiln used to. So and this time on the medium cork, well, there's 1 or 2 pinholes, so I am going to make a couple slight adjustments, and I am not sure. That's on the white slip. This medium cork, I get a lot of variation from firing to firing. I had it too thin in the last one on some mugs, so this is thicker. Yeah, there it is on the mugs, where it's too thin and doesn't really have a lot of character. And the next layer, not fired for way too long a time, another pie plate. And not running and sticking to the shelf, which that was the first time with that too long a firing where I ever saw the sea mist do that. And another test tile with the medium cork. This one completely clean, so we'll do some small adjustments in the firing schedule. And some more of our happy skulls. These were let's see if I can find, I do have one here. This I was doing the redware, or the red clay. Actually, this is fired up to stoneware temperatures, doing the Pennsylvania slipware SGRAFFITO that I find also can come out of Devon, England, and we were looking at Michael Cardew's stuff, but decided, okay, this is 2020 and this is my studio. How would I do it? And so these are kind of maybe okay, I'm not from the city. What is that called when you paint on a bridge? Okay, these are kind of cartoon-like and kind of, I can remember the artist I used to admire in Pittsburgh, Mook, whose paintings were all over the bridges and all over everything. Okay, graffiti, there we go. And down to the bottom shelf. And down to the bottom shelf. Okay, the little shots. This is, okay, and it looks like there's what we went to. I've been firing to cone 6. Others do it to 5. And it also occurred to me that maybe this kiln is adjusted a little bit differently, but that's about where I remember the cones being before. This is my green Celadon on the black standard 266. And here it is on my bluey glaze and the white with the button medallion. And okay, here are two with the exact same glaze with the sea mist on the inside and the medium cork, or it could be the snow on brick on the outside. The medallion is white here. This is the last firing where it was fired for too long a time. And on this clay body, there was no pinholing or bubbling on the black clay like there was on my hazelnut. And this is this firing where it wasn't fired for too long a time, where I think I got the firing just about right. How can an electric kiln be so difficult? Is it just me? So it may have something too also to do with the clay bodies. And okay, the ball. These were made in the first of the year. These were made back in January. Let's see, maybe we'll get that out in the sunlight and see if that does any better. In this instance, it may be that, oh, there we go, that, yeah, the last one with the runny was okay. Once again, yeah, not my thing, but somebody will like it. So, what's happening with the kiln? I hope I've almost got it figured out. If you did come here from a beer review, I can't imagine you're still here. Except still, I will say, okay, this is an India Pale Ale. They've got some kind of crazy story on the back, but Alai is, from what I remember, a Basque, some odd corner of Spain, semi-autonomous state kind of sport. I don't know what it has to do with Florida. Maybe it says on the back. I will say this is, okay, no, I'm not a professional. Okay, I know a lot about art, but I'm not sure always what's happening here. However, with this, I am no expert, but I can say I think I know what I like. And this is meaty. Okay, this is something you can sink your teeth into. I think the professionals might use the term body for that. And, okay, very citrusy, very grapefruity. I always drank grapefruit juice as a kid as opposed to orange juice. And on the to blah scale, I will say I will give this a 90 to 95. Okay, stop back for, okay, another pottery kiln unloading, or maybe another Potter's Journal beer review.